Thanks for being here this morning for another Good Day Stateline. In our studio now is attorney at law Zachary Townsend from Pro Legal Care. Zach has many focuses, but one main focus is family law. And today he's going to share with us some information about Pro Legal Care and also give us updates on child support laws. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in. So a lot of stuff has changed, so that's why we wanted to talk to you today. Pro Legal Care has the word care in the name. Why is that so important to you?
We call it legal care because just as the best doctors will address the symptoms of the source of your problem instead of just addressing the symptoms, our attorneys will delve into the root of the problem and look at the overall entirety of your legal well-being, so that way we can give you remedies that last.
That's awesome. That's a great way to explain that. I wouldn't have thought of that myself. A primary focus for you is family law, and today child support is the topic that we're going to talk about today.
That's
because
right.
There are some main things that we need to know about the current child support laws.
Right. So there's a new law, and
Okay.
relatively recently, the old law that had the flat rate has been overhauled. So, it used to be that the payor, the non-custodial parent, would pay 20% of his or her income to the other parent. Well, that's been eliminated, and it's been replaced with a sophisticated computation. And that includes the income of both parents.
Okay.
It's called a shared parenting model. Now, I want you to know that we're licensed in Illinois and in Wisconsin, but today I'm talking about Illinois law.
Okay.
Also new to the Child Support Act is the number of nights that the child spends with each parent is now a factor, and that's considered. So it's a little bit more sophisticated. We have software that addresses that, and ideally you would have a private attorney such as ourselves represent you in something like that. But there are other resources. The state of Illinois offers resources through the Department of Health and Family Services. The Attorney General offers resources, and you can find more about that on our website.
Okay, great. That's awesome. So we are talking about the child support law. So there's a bunch of other things that are included, like whether or not you go to daycare and extracurricular activities, like that's playing a part now, or?
That's playing a part, but that's not always standard.
Okay.
But what almost always is the case, at least for the judges in our community, is they address health care in conjunction with child support.
Okay.
So you have your typical child support where you have the payments that come every week or every other week, but that's often just the beginning. The health care is considered in terms of who carries the children on the health insurance. Who pays for those premiums? When there are expenses that are not covered by insurance, how are those split? And the judge addresses all of that. And that includes not just physical health, but mental health, vision care, orthodontia, pharmaceuticals, all sorts of health care.
And all of that can really add up. So it's great that
really
it's all
can.
being taken into consideration.
Right, that's true. Child care, daycare also can add up, and that's often addressed with child support as well. So it may be split equally, like 50-50, or it may be disproportionately allocated to one parent if they have more income than the other. But educational expenses, like you mentioned, are also included. So school registration, supplies, any mandatory fees that are related to school, and even some non-mandatory fees. We also address all kinds of activity fees, extracurricular fees. And once the kids grow up and get to college, you could be responsible for paying the tuition of your child as well once they're an adult.
Wow, and so what you're saying is before the flat rate didn't really have all of those be a part of it, and now it's separate?
No, actually, the flat rate did have those, but what the flat rate didn't have was the comparison of both incomes of both parties. So now they take into account the income of mom and the income of dad as well, and the number of overnights that the children has with each parent
Right, which is
as
huge.
well.
That's probably beneficial.
It seems more sensible.
Yes, probably more fair.
Perhaps.
So what's the main takeaway you want our viewers to have from today?
The main takeaway is to act. You can't just expect that this problem is going to solve itself. You need to take an initiative. And if you hire private counsel, which is of course ideal, like us, we can help you with that. And we could help you with custody and divorce matters as well. Now there are, as I said, state resources, and you should take advantage of those state resources. Your tax dollars pay for those. So seek out that help. This is not something you want to do on your own.
Sure, absolutely. Is there something that everyone should do when they are needing to get judgment for child support?
Seeking help, I think, is the most important part. It's oftentimes the case where your pride gets in the way when you're receiving the child support money and you think that maybe I shouldn't take it. But your children deserve it. They need financial security. That's important. And also, as a payor, for example, if you lose your job and you don't file a motion with the court, the meter continues to run.
Sure.
So that's the amount of child support that you're going to pay. So if you don't act, then you could have some big problems.
Absolutely. And you have financing options at Pro Legal Care.
Yes, we do. We offer payment plans to those who qualify, absolutely. And we understand that these types of issues can be unexpected. You don't always plan for these types of issues. So we have financing options that will fit any budget.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Your website, prolegalcare.com, and you can just quickly go to prolegalcare.com/child support for more information on those specific items. Thank you so much,
That's
Zach.
absolutely right. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. After a quick time out, Irish eyes are dancing. I'll show you what I mean when we return on Good Day Stateline.